Back again.
Now we're off. Barbie has booked me a few days at Kinbane Cottages up here, and there's the cows coming in. Isn't that lovely? And look at the shine on them. And there's Rathlin Island out behind it. And there's Barbie just doing a cow inspection, being a dairy farmer's daughter. Our little holiday let, self-catering. Now this is what we are looking out at on our little holiday house here, self-catering cottage, Kinbane Cottages. Look it up, and all you farmers take a day off, you dairymen, and bring your wife up here. It's lovely. So it is. It's actually a dairy farm.
I think most wives would like a wee spa down.
Yes, but they could go down to the beach there, have a spa on the beach.
No.
You think not?
No, not everybody's like me.
All right, scrub that whole idea then. So there's fertiliser going out here today on the farm, and nobody's sure just what's happening because the forecast's dodgy. We might get rain, might not get it, so you don't want to put too much that's lying on the ground. So that's happening there, and we are unloading the trailer up in the yard here with silage bales on it. So it's going out the back of the shed here, so they're getting that sorted out. And I'm heading off somewhere, bit of a run here, so I'm going to miss a lot of it. And they were sowing grass seed yesterday morning somewhere down the road, so it's all go. So they're going to bale hay as well out Ballycastle direction, just with the smaller baler. So they're getting their greased up and ready to go. This is the main street in Ballycastle, and this is the market spot of the town. But I'm standing in the grounds of the Church of Ireland, and I just like that old sandstone, so I came down to have a little look at it. But come inside to have a look. Very nice now. And look at that rose in the centre of the ceiling. But what I like as a look in here, this is the old organ here that they've had in, an ancient looking machine. And up in the wall at the back here, it's probably not readable. Oh, it is. J. Craig Brothers, Contractors, Ballycastle, May 61. And there's something else written in the thing behind it, can't see what it is. But anyway, somebody's left their advert. That was panelled off now with this side of the organ and wouldn't be seen. But there you are. Now, by the look of this man here, he's had enough of people tramping over his wire, leaving his gates open and whatever else, as they come to look at Fairhead. So we will observe his sign, which says a bull on the property. Mind you, it looks very like a sheep farm to me. But Barbara's just enjoying looking at the woolies over the dike, and the view into Ballycastle. So there's Rathlin again out to our left, and then this is out to the point at Fairhead with those classic sort of pipe organ rocks. This man's had to put a sheep gate on here. There's a bit of a drop. You wouldn't think sheep would be going there, but he must have had them there before. What is the definition of the Irish word Egypt? Here it is in picture. Now the boys were all up on the yard this morning getting instructions from their father, and I was just earwigging as they were standing in the workshop saying where they were going and what they were doing. And one of the boys was talking about the fields, what had been done, and he said the ice house field. So I immediately knew that from last year we were talking about this little house here in the field, and this is an ice house. Now, like Barbara's folks, maybe 2-3 generations ago, they were fishermen in Portavogie, and the lady folk wasn't happy about the dangerous lifestyle of the fishermen, so they came and bought a few acres. I think it was 13 acres at Ballyfrench. Is it 13, Barbara, that hill? Yep, a hill in a little field. It was 13 acres, and that was the conversion of the McClement. Barbara's maiden name was McClements. The McClementses converting from fishing to farming. And similar story here, but Kenny tells me the folks here on this farm were fishermen and farmers. We're talking about a couple of generations ago. And this was the ice house on the farm, and there was a small type of a lake up on the top of the hill, and in the winter time they gathered the sheet of ice when it froze, and they transported it down to this little house here, and it was stored in here. Now I don't know how long ice kept or what, but I know it can keep a good while if it's insulated, put it that way. So that's what this little house was used for. It supplied this farm and the next farm, I think he said a couple of farms and folk in the district, with ice. I suppose they packed the fish and stuff with ice to keep them, and anything you had, I suppose, to keep it cool. So that's the story of the little ice house here. And in the day it had a thatched roof, not a tin roof, Kenny tells me. Now, behind me you'll see a very famous little boathouse, and that's at Ballycastle Harbour. Now, just up on the hill behind the boathouse is that odd-shaped white house. I often wondered, was that a Coast Guard place or something? Anybody drop a line in the comments if you know again. And right up behind that again, there's a row of round bale silage precariously stacked there, as you can see. Well, the history of that is on Sheep Island here, out at the Ballycastle Harbour, out over the back there. So that's Sheep Island. The round bales were rolled from the hill down and then onto a wee boat and out to Sheep Island to feed the sheep. Now, I totally made that story up. Did you catch it on there?
Porky Pie is a bad boy.
Now there's our sunset at Kinbane. This is the last day of our trip, and it's Sunday and we're just on our way home, so we've called into Dunseverick Baptist Church here. And there's a fella in here called John Porter, and John plays with us at different bookings. We'll be doing a Low Country Boys, so I'm just going to get John to do a little tinkle on the keyboard and finish my story off for me.
Ivan and me plays a bit together, you know. And then there's me and Ivan Gibson and Richard, and we make a wild lot of noise. I love this wee song here. And it's, you might recognise it. This world is not my home. I'm just a passing through. My treasures are there laid up. Well, they're laid up somewhere beyond the blue. The angels, you know, they're beckoning me from heaven's wide open door. And I can't feel at home in this world anymore. I love the wee chorus. It goes, oh Lord, you know, Lord, I have no friend like you. Because if I hadn't you, Lord, what would I do? The angels, they still beckon me from heaven's great wide open door, and I can't feel at home in this old world anymore. There's a wee line in the middle of that chorus that says basically, if Lord, I hadn't used my friend, what could I do? And it really says to us, what could you or I do, to buy our way into heaven?
Nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Because the Lord has bought that for us. And we're just finished the church here, and we finish up with a wee time around what we call the Lord's table. You maybe know it's communion. And we do that every Sunday morning to remind us that if it wasn't for the Lord, we could do absolutely nothing to get salvation. That's a great wee song. You know, we sometimes sing that, don't we?
Yep.
And we make a perfect lot of noise.
Thanks very much, John. That's us on our way home after our holiday, folks, from Dunseverick Baptist Church, and we're going home in the spiritual sense and in the worldly sense, back to our little flock of sheep at home and back to the grind. See ya.
Have a good to see you. See you, folks.
Sheep.